Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Jeffers, and I'm going to be going over my diversity policy tonight. So first things first, sorry about the lack of a web camera. Didn't build one into my PC. So let's just jump right into it though. So my diversity policy, first of all, is in just like a standard Word document and not a PowerPoint. The reason for that is because I want it to be like mandatory literature. I want people to read it. I want people to understand it. I want it to be emailed. I want people to go through it. The next thing is concise, but yet detailed. So it lays out the plan, it lays out the policies and how it's done in a concise manner. I think anything over 10 pages, people just skim, I blow it off and be like, okay, whatever. I know in my case, I do that sometimes. I shouldn't, but I think a lot of humans do. So it's right about 7 pages, it's double spaced, but it's so it is concise. But I think most people would read that all the way through. Okay, so I'll read this one verbatim, and just because it is our mission statement. In our corporation, we wish to strive for not only excellence in our work, but a workplace that is not only safe, but very inclusive and supportive for individuals from all walks of life. This policy document is designed to help cultivate an environment and culture that helps employees reach their fullest potentials, not only in this company, but in life in itself. Let's do this first. A first and most important step is ensuring that the barriers of racism, sexism, harassment, and bullying are removed completely. So that's our mission statement and purpose of this document is to remove those barriers and make it a safe place and cultivate an atmosphere that people can thrive in. And I think a lot of the different companies from around the world can respect that. That can get most people on board with this document. That's the why in the document. So next is the how. The how of this document, this first of all, is getting the word out, communication, making sure people know there's a change coming, how the change is coming, why the change is coming. It's going to be shot out there a mass email, memorandum, which a lot of people don't read. So then in that case, for those people who don't read it, those managers are going to be required to make a small presentation of the document for the co-workers and everyone in the firm. Okay. Policies are going to be easy to understand and firm. I hate really lengthy laws that nobody understands. This is not going to be like that. Okay. They're a little bit, some of them are more broad. That's good. That's some opportunistic people take advantage of specific rules to work right outside of them. And I don't like that. Okay. Then we go over basically the how. So how we're going to do this? How we're going to remove these barriers? Okay. So I don't think you can remove anything completely, but we're going to reduce it. So how we're going to reduce it is first of all, so after we tell everybody what we're planning on doing and when we're planning on doing it, we're going to go into the how, which is the training. Okay, we're going to be doing 4 modules over different topics like sexism, harassment, bullying, general inclusivity, getting everyone knowledgeable in the subjects. But in addition to that, we will break down on a monthly basis. We're going to have a guided discussion, which is kind of like a workshop, where we're going to do on a monthly basis, like your small team, not a whole company, not everybody. It's unreasonable. But a manager, maybe 10, 15 people are going to sit down once a month for about an hour and a half, and they're going to tell a story about a significant figure in that period of time. It'd be somebody from the LGBTQ community, maybe someone from the African American community, maybe somebody from a country, Saudi Arabia. Pick some different concerns, pick some different issues, have a guide discussion, give people a chance to openly talk about different issues and maybe get some things that are subconscious out and talked about. So I think that's important too. So that's another good step. That goes with the education along with it. So communication, education. So then here comes the specifics. Instead of reading these verbatim, we'll just kind of go right to them. No hate speech, nothing. No transphobic slurs, no sexist statements, no racial slurs or anything And then here's where I kind of the catch-all or any other degrading speech that puts emphasis on hatred. This is a little bit more broad, and that's for a reason. Then here's the next one. So here's where I separate things from other policies. I put the promotion capability in other people's hands. So too many times people just promote their buddies or promote somebody who in their head is the right fit. I think mathematics can reduce that, make it an algorithm-based program that basically helps score employees. Now, algorithms can be biased as well, but knowing that ahead of time, you can mitigate that. All right, so no bullying at all. I have a little definitions for everything from Oxford, which I thought was appropriate. No sexual harassment is a huge problem in the workplace, so I kind of go into a little bit more depth with this one. Okay, proper titles. I know a lot of people, especially in the Midwest, do not. Diversity within their minds, it doesn't come to difference, not only just sexual orientations, but gender, people who identify as a different gender. So I think putting emphasis on them, writing it out so people aren't confused and they know they will be enforced too. And different religious beliefs. Some religions don't mix as well as others, and that's a shame. But I think it's important that everybody knows to respect one another's religion. I think this one's going to be really important if you were to operate on a global scale, especially because religion is a huge part of culture, right? I go into repercussions. Due to the lack of time, we're just not going to go into absolutely everything, but everything from law enforcement, termination, suspension to written warnings. But here's where I kind of differ. There will be no verbal warnings. And a lot of people are like, what? I think too many people get away with things over and over and over again because they're just small verbal warnings. Paper trails, documentation, written warnings for everything. Mandatory. Managers will be enforcing that, and that they'll be getting punished if they don't do that. They can't, just support their own at all times. And obviously, there will be no repercussions for people who report anything, even if it turns out to be nothing, it's fine. No repercussion will come to that. I want a safe atmosphere. Okay, goes into that. Elaboration on mandatory training basically goes over the modules. Here's the time frame, 3 weeks. Here's the important part, 3 weeks for people who are already in the company. However, if you're new to the company, you'll have to complete all these 4 modules before you start work, okay? Harassment, bullying, racism, overall diversity. The overall diversity one is going to be the longest one because it kind of is a catch-all that goes over a little bit of everything: gender, religion, politics, disabilities, different sexual orientations, and pretty much everything else. This will be the longest one. Okay, reporting. Okay, here I show a diversity officer. That's what we do. They have something similar in the Marine Corps, which is pretty much a designated team that reports these things. You can do it anonymously. You have a hotline for it. You have an email for it. You can contact your manager. It just kind of goes over a little bit of that. Summary. I think this can be summed up. The summary can be summed up to make the best atmosphere possible. I think it's really important. Basically makes the team stronger. I go into some questions here. Basically, this can get summed up as we're stronger together. We can use each other's strengths, and hatred just limits us. So that's how we can be stronger on a global scale. Plus, other people want to work with us more. Health and ethics always supports you. Next thing, I just kind of go over a little bit of everything. That's mainly for the teacher though. You can, I'll give you a second to read you can pause it and read any of these if you'd like. This would help you answer the questions. Okay, thank you very much. That's a brief, so that's my diversity policy. It's so just to recap, communication of the policy, education of different issues and workshops and things like that. There will be punishments for anything that's in clear punishments. And then there's elaborations on anything you need. And there's a way of reporting anonymously and non-anonymously if you need to. Okay. And it gives kind of a valid validity through the CEO notionally. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed my presentation.